Well, hello, Coach. It's Joey Gwynn.
Coach Chuck King, this is Zachary Evans here.
Hey, Coach King. This is Glenn Takamoto.
This is Brian Rojas Arauz, now Dr. Rojas Arauz.
Hey, Coach King, Pat Farrell here. Hey, former 189 pounder.
Hey, Coach King. This is Siwa.
Hey, Coach. It's Ethan.
Hey, Coach Chuck. It's Jake.
Chuck King, this is Ray Rink coming at you. We're live. Bethel Island, baby.
Happy birthday, Coach King. Eric Lawson here.
Chuck, happy birthday, you old bastard.
Hey, Coach King, calling you out from Pittsburgh, California. I want to wish you a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Coach King.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You're old as shit.
Hey, Coach, just wanted to pop in, say happy birthday.
Hey, Coach. Wanted to wish you a happy birthday.
Just wanted to thank you for being such an awesome coach and, a life mentor. One thing I always remember about you is you're always very positive. And one thing I liked about your coaching style is, some people will have negative reinforcement or get mad at you or kind of use like fear tactics. And you were always very, very positive. Like I always felt like I wanted to do good and I wanted to push myself because I wanted to make, you happy and I wanted to make you proud because, you were that positivity in my life.
Wrestling was so much fun, challenging, and I'm so glad I was able to even join and be part of the team. And I appreciate you taking the time, out of your day, training us, being there for, 2-3 hours and a day. It's unbelievable.
I really appreciate you being part of my life. When I was trying to grow up as a young man, I had made plenty of mistakes, and I think a lot of times you had more confidence in me, especially wrestling, and to be a man than I had in myself at the time, and that did a lot for me.
I think it was my sophomore year at the sports banquet when you had kidney stones and you started your presentation with whoever's had kidney stones, raise your hand, and you shut your hand up on the podium. That's definitely the best.
There's some things in life I'll never forget. There's the crossface, the whizzer kick, and that your legs are 2 times stronger than your arms.
One thing I remember about Coach is his persistence. I always remember Coach harping on us to learn new techniques, new things like that. And one of the first things, and probably the biggest thing that he taught me, was a tilt. So thank you, Coach, for that. It probably got me some extra points, so I appreciate you. Thank you, Coach.
Again, just want to say thank you, for taking the time out of your life at that time. I got 2 kids of my own now and busy with work, so I know, how much dedication that takes and, from your day job and family life. So thanks for that. The skills that were from wrestling that was taught for me both transcended wrestling itself and also just life skills in general. So that was formative in at the time of high school and also going forward now. So,
hey, Coach, I just want to say I'll never forget the times before a big dual meet. You give me those little pep talks like, Eddie, we need this one. We need it. It made me more nervous than I was supposed to be. I was nervous already, but you would say Eddie, we need this one.
My favorite memory was that you were always willing to wrestle, with all the guys and girls and everything, and get dirty with everybody. So, but the one that, and still to this day, makes me laugh is that I don't know at what point you had a hernia, and every single time you'd be laughing but in pain, but still wrestling with everybody. So. I don't know why it makes me smile, and still to this day when I think about it.
Still think back to the old high school wrestling days, and I want to say thank you for being such a great coach and keeping things fun even as we all work to do really well. The focus was always on just having a good time, learning from it, growing from it, and all the things that should be. So.
The only way you really can live the dream is by learning discipline, setting goals, and getting out there and accomplishing them. And that's where you came in, baby. We didn't get to where we got to without somebody like you pushing us further and further and further, even when we thought we couldn't get any further.
Hey, I just want to take a second to just say thank you for all of your time and energy spent mentoring me and all the guys on the mat. Those are life lessons that no one loses, and I know it probably wasn't easy, but I just want to say thank you for all your time growing up on and off the mat. Sean and Shane have been some of my best friends growing up, and you just did a great job parenting and mentoring them. And I couldn't thank you enough for raising two of my best friends.
One of the biggest things that, going through everything, when I left for independent study in high school, Balistreri wouldn't let me wrestle another year, even though I was allowed to. And thank you so much for fighting tooth and nail to let me wrestle one more year. It was awesome. And that will always stick with me. Thank you so much. And especially thank you for your sons, my best man in my wedding, Sean. You raised some great kids. They're good dudes.
Sophomore year wrestling is the year I'll never forget, and you're one of the main reasons that was a good year for me.
As we got to know each other through wrestling and through high school and my first couple years of college, you were someone that I always appreciated I had in my corner, whether it was a wrestling match or just chatting about stuff, or when my car breaks down. I appreciated every moment that you have given to me in life, and I hope that you have the happiest of birthdays, because you definitely deserve the happiest of birthdays.
Wrestling was a really important part of my life, and you played a big role in that, a massive role. So I just wanted to thank you for being kind and supportive and being a really good mentor. Growing up, I never really had a father figure in my life, and you gave me someone to look up to.
Big memory that I'll never forget is that my sophomore year also, that's when you first started coaching us, coaching with Mays, and I remember it was at the Las Lomas tournament, and I don't remember what you said to me, but you said something about going out there and doing my best and putting it all together. You shook my hand, and I went out and won my first match, and I can't remember a single match after that you didn't shake my hand right before the match and tell me something along the lines of just go out there and do it. And I'll never forget that, and it meant the world to me, and it's something I think about quite often.
I wanted to share a little message with you about how important you have been in my life. You've been a role model. You being in my corner in my wrestling matches has always meant a lot to me. I always thought that you believed in me. You instilled so many good values, and you've always been there for me.
First and foremost, thank you. Thank you, because the wrestling room was at times the only place where I really had a family. High school was definitely hard, and I am happy that I had a place where I could feel supported, challenged. One of my favorite memories was whenever you got to put a medal around my neck. That always felt great.
I wanted to take this moment to wish you a happy birthday, and I wanted to thank you so much for being the best coach I ever had. I played a lot of sports in high school, ran track, cross country, played tennis, but I was definitely most passionate about wrestling. I actively competed for 20 years and finally retired in 2017. I had 2 league championships, the Martin Oliveri Clyde Forrest Award, many open tournaments I won, and I wrestled 9 times at the state open championship with a high mark of 4th place in 2010. To wrestle that long, you got to be inspired. You gotta love it. I remember when I was a freshman, all I wanted to do was make varsity and earn a letter. I wrestled a few matches, and I asked you, does that mean that I get a letter? And you said, well, we'll just have to see. I'm not sure. And I thought, shit, I better start winning some more matches. After sophomore year, I was hooked. I went to as many freestyle tournaments that I could go to, even if no one was there. I remember one tournament you came with me, and there was only one guy in my bracket. And, I won the tournament, and I said, Coach, what should I tell my girlfriend? And you said, well, you could say that you won all your matches, that you were the champion, and you could show her the medal. And I thought, oh, this is perfect. This is going to work out great.
My most fun one was actually recently, about a few weeks ago. We went out and hung out on the porch with Coach Keck, Jim Keck of College Park. And we were reminiscing about the good times and all the fun times we used to have. And a lot of laughs, a lot of hard work.
Really, man, I just want to wish you a happy birthday. Really, thank you for
for everything that you've done for me and helping develop me and my mind state as a man. Coming up as a young kid from San Diego, it didn't dawn on me, you know, how much I love the sport. But you saw something in me, and you saw a hunger in me that, you know, I didn't even see in myself. And you helped cultivate me as a wrestler, a young man. And for that, I'm forever grateful. My son, Zachary Evans III, is now wrestling as well. We live in Texas now. So just your influence has stretched beyond me in my generation. You have shown me and taken me places that, you know, I never thought was possible as a young man. And you've given me a sport that injected into my life so much more than anything else has in terms of developing me as a young child. So for that, I want to thank you for being a father figure, for being a mentor, for being a positive role model. When I bought my first house, just thought about you and how proud you would be of me. So my son wants to give a thank you and a special happy birthday to a special man.
Yeah, happy birthday, Coach K. Thank you for that generational information that you allowed my father to pass down to me in this wrestling thing. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's good.
Love you, Coach. Still teach you a reverse cradle to this day.
My little family I got going on here, as you can meet them. This is wife Lizette, little Nolan. He's might be my wrestler. I'm still waiting for one. And Lizzie, this is Lizette. She's 4. Say hello. This is William. He's gonna be 6 soon, but he might get on the mat, one of these 2 guys for me. And this is the oldest right here. This is Caleb, 14. Give you a little reference how big this guy is. So he's everything's real good for us here. I hope the same is true for you. And happy birthday. Enjoy your day.
And this is my daughter right here. And she wants to wish you a happy birthday as well. Say it.
Happy birthday, Coach King.
Thank you for being such a great coach.
I hope you have a fabulous birthday. And again, thank you for everything you've done.
Thank you for everything that you have done.
Thanks again for everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a great coach.
Love you a lot, Coach. Thanks for everything that you've done for every single generation.
Thank you for everything that you've done.
And thanks again for being the best coach I ever had.
When I asked some of the wrestlers that you coached over the decades to help me in this tribute video for your birthday, it was so easy. People just said, yes, of course, no problem. And they had so many stories to say, and they were all so happy to do it. And that really just showed me how much of a positive impact you had on their lives, and still do, because some of these people you coached over 20 years ago, 25 years ago. So, and they still think about you and the impact that you had. And that's really amazing. That really is a phenomenal thing.
And I just remember that it was because of our dad's coaching style. We went to literally the worst team in the league for like a decade to being one of the best teams in just a matter of, 2 or 3 years. And it was because of his coaching style. And it's because he always focused on wrestling. He always focused on technique. That was his thing, right? When in practice it was always live wrestling and then technique. He always focused on that. That was the most important thing. And it's because he was smart and he focused on that as as a team. And so I just remember that transformation as a team in such a short period of time. And it shows how important it is to have a good coach and what a good coach can do. And, it's not just the wrestlers, it's how they're coached. And our dad was great at coaching people to their strengths. He could watch someone wrestle and give them advice as what moves they should use based on their personal strengths.
There was just so much, you always came from a place of compassion and empathy when you coached. It was always compassion, it was always empathy that drove you, your starting point. And that's why you would buy wrestlers' shoes, buy wrestlers' knee pads, buy wrestlers' breakfast after weigh-ins, give people rides from dual meets, give people rides to tournaments. All wrestlers who didn't have much, and we didn't have much either when it came to material things, but Shane and I had something that those other wrestlers didn't have, which was you as a father.
And if everything else failed, you just failed like in a match, and then you just reverse cradle, and everything would be okay. So
these wrestlers experienced it for the few years that you coached them in wrestling in high school, and then some time after in college. But I feel so fortunate, and Shane does, because we lived it. It's our lives. You're a coach in life. You're a dad. And so it didn't end in the wrestling room with us, and it didn't start in the wrestling room with us. So thank you for being a great dad. Happy birthday. And I hope that this video helps you remember all the good that you've done for other people's lives. So thank you. Happy birthday.
So that's what I remember the most, just the overall strengths of his coaching and how quickly he turned around the team. And so thanks, Dad, and happy birthday.